The summer years old. Only 100 people per day, 300 members.
Good morning and welcome to our Rotary Club. I'm Ash Propel, your club president, and we have 5 minutes of fellowship before we get started. So for those on Zoom, welcome.
I'm going to get one second. Oh, there you go. Rain come down. Well, we got rained up today. You're an 8 hole. Really effective. 80 miles of what they call $3 minutes. I don't watch it live. Your sense of humor. It's big free. Yeah. I know it's I'm glad you're laughing. Yeah, even know me well. You're kidding. When Matt left, it was over 100 aircraft.
Well, good afternoon now. My name is Asha Patel. I'm your club president, and this is another auspicious occasion for us to gather. I am up to the next slide. Thanks. So happy Father's Day for all those that are fathers, and apparently it's also Priest Day at the same time. So I guess you can celebrate the priests that are in your life.
They need love too.
They do, yes. Love is going to be one of the themes today. Happy Pride Month as well. And let's keep it colorful, and the rainbow is all of us. And finally, reminder, this month is Rotary Fellowship Month. So what you've all experienced throughout your whole time as Rotarians, and also hopefully in our club this year in particular, post-COVID, is the power of fellowship and friendship. So we'll take our compulsory breaths. Unless you want to see me later. Just leave all your worries and concerns out at the door or in a special place that you can access later. Breathe in peace and calm and quiet and trust, and smile as you breathe out, and loving kindness. And we will try to enjoy the compassion and the companionship of each other. So may I have Audrey, would you like to help, or Phil, in the order test? Phil? Of all the things we may say or first is the truth, second is the prayer of all concerned, third will be your friendships, and fourth will be beneficial for all concerned, and fifth is the divine. Thank you, Bill. Also, just wanted to remind a few of our team members that have come back from international areas. So, Sheriston, would you like to say a few words about your amazing trip to Denmark and a few pictures?
Yes, I would. So I went on a diplomatic mission to Denmark to visit my son, who is there right now. So he's been there for the year. He comes back tomorrow, so I'm super excited to see him. But it was really lovely to see him in his environment with his families and his friends, and meet just kind of all the people in his world right now. So I just have a few photos. So this is his current host mom. Her name is Dorothy. So she's a gong master, so kind of unique. She's also in finance, but this is what she does on the side. So we went out, we had a great dinner with all of his host families one night. So his first host family, the dad's a professional chef. So we got like incredible, like 5-course meal. Lily was with me too. So we also hosted Tia from Denmark this fall. We were the first host family. So we stayed with her mom and dad, and they were just lovely people. It was so fun to see them. So, oh no. Anyway, we'll have to fix that. So, wonderful trip though with Tia's mom and dad, seeing all different parts of Denmark, the coast. The slides are on the back if you want to look there for right now. But we saw Tia's new high school and just had a wonderful, wonderful time. So I'm going to wrap it up, and he's doing great. It's a good year.
Keep breathing.
Yeah. Just look this way.
Yeah.
There we go. No idea why these.
Well, two of them have these one.
Do you want to share one or two excerpts from Singapore, Dave?
So Cheryl and I had the opportunity to attend the international convention in Singapore. We had a lovely time, and it was so wonderful that I'm going to have a presentation in a few weeks about Singapore and our visit. So I'm going to leave it at that, Asha.
Perfect. Thank you. Happy books or happy thoughts. Thank you.
Happy thoughts. So I'm going to put in funds for the first happy thought. We're preparing for a retirement party for both Cheryl and I, and that's on Saturday. And as part of that, we're trying to get our garden all trimmed up. And last night, we initiated our new pond and waterfall. We actually got it flowing last night, and it looks lovely. A lot of hard work. There were probably 4 tons of rock in this, and I think Cheryl would back me up with that. Anyway, so other happy thoughts. Yes.
John McKee, a new member, and I got my buttons today. I'm so proud of that. I got it so quick. Thank you.
Well, welcome. Yes.
Happy Buck is to wish Ashok a wonderful send-off in this final month of his leadership. It's been a remarkable year, and excited about Dave's coming in. But before we look past this month, Thursday, the 27th of June, is an opportunity for all service clubs in Rochester. And I believe there are 13 of them. There are 3 Rotary clubs and then the other groups. You have the opportunity between 11 and 1 to celebrate Rochester Fest and also talk. There will be a 2 or 3 minute presentation about each club's, what they do in the community. And there are additional things that you'll be reading about in the Moccasin Flower. But I hope we have a really good turnout that day. It's, we're hoping to grow our membership, and there are going to be a lot of bodies during Rochester Fest. And in the evening, there's the business downtown. What's the business after hours? They're inviting us to be a part of that too, so that we can network as Rotarians do quite well. And thanks to Lori for keeping that communication clear to everybody.
Other happy thoughts. Yeah.
My grandson is a Spanish teacher in the city. He's dealing with trying to get into the school systems and being tenured in budget cuts, but he got a job.
My happy bucks this morning, we found out we got another $500 toward the Tanzania water project. So we are like $700 away. So we're very close.
Wonderful news. Right.
Just another ditto. Happy retirement, Cheryl.
Got a happy buck for my daughter. It's my daughter has her baby shower on Saturday. So it'll be our granddaughter. We're expecting her in a couple months. So we get to celebrate that this weekend, and very excited. And one of those grandpas has already bought way too much stuff. And I told him I'm going to pack her house full of Amazon stuff.
Not the only one. Mine's coming tomorrow. We're excited to have it.
Congratulations.
I'm still happy because my son and grandson came to visit me for a couple of days over the weekend, and I'm still dancing.
Steve?
I'm happy because our grandchildren, their daycare is closed this week. So my wife and I are providing daycare for them. As you'll find out, that's just a joy.
It's a joy, but you find out how active you were when you were younger. It takes its toll. Anybody else? All right, thank you all. Oh, that's right.
Thank you. I wanted to leave some donations for three things. One, we made it back from the American Medical Association's House of Delegates, which is kind of like a legislative session, and that was the last 3 days. So I made it back from Chicago, and we passed lots of resolutions to secure support for public health infrastructure, for migrants, for supporting peace in the Middle East, and a lot of other good things. But it's really important these days that as we think about health and policy, that we don't let politics stop us from being good Rotarians and advocating for benefit for all. The fourth item there on our 4-way test. The other was this wonderful day today of transition to Dave's really ready hands, and it'll be another great celebration. And finally, we did beat our goal of $1,000 for Happy Thoughts and Happy Bucks, so that's another happy. All right, so you just have to enjoy the back there for things, or stay in the dark. There is light in a black hole, by the way, and that's proven by the astrophysicists. Talk about that later. But our new members this year, just to celebrate, thanks to the good work of everyone in here promoting our club and the values of Rotary. Audrey, especially to do the logistics of getting the paperwork in. But here are just some of the members that have joined our club this past year through all your hard work and efforts. So let's keep going. We want to try to get to 100 members by our 100-year celebration. And Dave, I think you're well on your way. And in that spirit, Audrey, if you want to come up and recognize two of our members. And while you're coming up to do that, we want to welcome new guests. So go ahead, Dave.
So I'm going to start by welcoming my guest and prospective member, my wife, Cheryl. Oh, they're yours.
I don't have the flexibility to move around like you guys do anymore. Just notice that. Today I'm so pleased to be able to welcome Lilium. You'll have to pronounce your last name for me because I can't do it. Okay, and Don Wallace. Yeah, thank you. I have trouble remembering names. People, I remember numbers wonderfully, and I had a terrible time with names. Okay, so they are two of the most. They've been real blessings for me throughout this year. Our district governor asked us on the grants committee to write up stories about some of the grants that we're doing. And I knew that these are, Ashok is the guy that heads up the grant, but the people who did the work are William and Don and Lori, who isn't here, I'm sorry to say. The three of them are doing some wonderful work with people in Guatemala, doing all kinds of things, and they've had a real wonderful effect on the lives of the people there. And so we wanted to have them come.
Welcome, Gail Harris.
Oh, hello everybody. I'm Gail Harris. Some of you who might have been with Rotary for a long time might recognize me. I worked at Public Library for 20 years and and I worked on the front desk, but I also had the privilege of running Rochester Reading Champions. And, I love that program, and I love reading, and And I know that you share that understanding of that. Thank you.
Anybody else? Oh, actually, online, Dave Newman is joining us via Zoom. He's here representing the LIFT program. So welcome, Dave.
Thank you.
Okay. I have the pleasure today to introduce two new members. Stephanie is the VP of Resource Development for the United Way of Olmsted County, where she manages fundraising and marketing for the organization. Stephanie grew up in San Jose, California, before moving to San Diego for her undergraduate degree at UCSD. Since then, she's lived in Virginia, Oregon, and now Minnesota. She received her master's in public administration from Virginia Tech, go Hokies, and has worked in the nonprofit field for almost 15 years. She has now lived in Rochester for going on 3 years and loves spending time with her 1-year-old daughter, Evelyn, and her husband. They enjoy hiking, biking, camping, travel, and of course, a good binge week. Okay, it's Stephanie. Okay. And Jaime is an MD who graduated last year from medical school in San Luis Potosi, Mexico. He is currently working as a research fellow in the Division of Rheumatology at Mayo Clinic. He's been hosted by the 3 Rotary clubs this past year and has been staying with Dwight Jones from the Greater Rochester Rotary Club. And he will be applying for medical residency next year. In fact, he took over Mariana's job. So we welcome both of you. So it's to go.
They've got multiple roles.
So do you have more to say before we sit down? No. Okay, all right. Then right at the end, we'll head to the back so everybody can take you on. Oh, sure. Yeah. So I actually get to do one more fun thing today. Gail, I'll have you come in. And is this
So be my boss, you know.
Oh, we know better than that. So as you know, the club has been using some of its Rotary points to recognize community members that are doing amazing work in the community. And I have nominated Gail. Gail helped create and implement the Rochester Reading Champions program. This free structured literacy program matches highly trained community volunteers with youth and adults in our community who face financial challenges and struggle to read and write. The average increase in reading through the program is 2.7 grades. Oh, yeah. Now in retirement, she continues to tutor multiple students. She even tutored while she traveled, juggling time zone and student schedules. And they love it when they know she's tutoring from England. There's just something really cool about that. She mentors other tutors. She has been my mentor as I have started increasing my tutoring in retirement. And she has so much experience tutoring and she's willing to share what she's learned. She advocates for her students. For example, when 2 of her students needed math support, as well as reading support, she found a volunteer math tutor for them. Gail embodies service above self. Congratulations, Gail. Thank you for being such an amazing community member.
Thank you. And I'm just going to say one thing. Audrey is a tutor, and our office, when we first started the program, we really didn't have that. Oh, sorry. When we started the program, we really didn't have that many places to meet. So I used to meet in the office next door to Audrey's office. And regularly, towards the end of the lesson, I have a knock on the door, an audience would stick a head in and say, are you ready? Because at the end of the lesson, if my student had worked really hard, we would have a game of hangman.
And his graduation party is this weekend.
Yeah, we're both going. Yeah, so, yeah. So thank you. And thank you both for your support.
Judy, you want to do a surprise from here? Although it may not be as much of a surprise.
Well, as I told you, what the stars of my life this last several months been this group of three people, Bill and him too. The real ones are Lillian, Don, and Lori, who isn't here. And I started to find out about the work that they were doing. I knew about it from the grants and the things. I knew the money that went into it and all that kind of stuff. But I didn't know what they were doing down right in the trenches. And when I did, it just broke my heart practically. Lillian has been taking groups of students, first of all, now volunteers, I guess, to Guatemala to learn, well, to practice their Spanish if they're trying to do that, but to find out how the people live, find out about the culture, and to help as well as much as they can. And the one thing that we had was Ashok and Lillian realized that a lot of the people that were living in these villages that she was taking them to were cooking their food with stoves that were just open fires inside their houses. And they were having bad, breathing problems and burns. The children could get burned and that sort of thing. And so the two of them got to thinking, him as being a lung specialist, they got to talking about it, and they decided that they tried to put together a study to try to measure what would be the effect if they took out those indoor fires and put in vented stoves there inside. What kinds of help they could get. They developed between the two of them, they developed a study. And that was going really well until, unfortunately, the money fell out. And that's where the Rotary got into the way, got in, and we got a couple of grants that ultimately helped to finish the work up. But the work that they're doing has really helped people there, not just with their breathing, but as you point out, the women got a chance to exercise leadership roles in their community, and they brought lessons about breathing and deforestation and other things that were aspects of it. They brought that all together and started to teach the teachers that were teaching the kids. And they taught the women that were cooking about the importance of the fresh air and not using too much wood to burn in their stoves and so on. It was a learning experience, and an awful lot of people were affected, I think, positively during this time. So I've been very impressed. People don't know how important our RCTC instructors are. The work that they're doing in their lives is way beyond, it's just not known. And so I wanted I wanted to nominate you for one of our roles because of your work with your trips to Guatemala. How many years? 17 now, something like that. Yeah, 17 years, I think she's been doing this. And yeah, she's had a big effect on a lot of people here and in Guatemala.
So Lillian, Dawn, Judy, and Lori, who is here, thank you so much for being exemplary role models for what it means to be a Rotarian, what it means to be a global humanitarian, and what it means to be a transcendent servant leader as an educator, and really with case studies like this where we change lives because we care, and how we then endure 17 years or longer of the challenge of working across cultures and lines. You're well deserved, and thank you for just having the trust in Rotary and in all of us to help you get there. So, thank you. I have the pin up here if you want to come, or you can stand by Judy over here, and Dawn. Do you want to have any last words, or Lillian? We'll have to keep it short. But you'll hear about the LIFT program pretty shortly, and a lot of the same methodology for how to listen to a community, how to learn, and then how to sustain is going to be reinforced with Dave's presentation. So,
All his certificate, and we have recordings. Congratulations.
Wow. This is belong to the village.
As a Colombian and a person who has worked in the third world country, or lived in the third world country and lost parents when I was 15. So I've been there, done that in the matters of poverty and many other things, right? So I just wanted to not just thank you for this, just to know how Americans and their wonderful heart around the world are such a distinctive characteristic of being open and just, yeah, that spirit of helping others, it is very unique for American culture. So what the Rotary Club has, the 3 Rotary Clubs have done here for this corner of Guatemala in the highlands, affect around 1,000 people, not just with the breathing better and the mortality rate for the little kids, decrease. But the part of the what is sustainable, in my opinion, and let's see what Dan have to say, is that we break the legacy of colonialism, of how you would say, we always think that we know best when we go sometimes to our indigenous populations, and actually they have centuries of methods of way to do healthcare or to do farming or other things. And it is important to listen to them. So in this case, the women felt really empowered, and right now they are continuous with the legacy of generous scholarships, promoting respiratory health and promoting the care of the environment. So stocks have a short life, right? But the knowledge and the know-how and the feeling that I can do this and be a leader in my community will sustain and will continue with the families that they learn from that. So I will really invite all of you to come with me to Guatemala. It's a beautiful place. It is 70 degrees. It's located in Lake Atitlán. It's listed in one of the most beautiful lakes around the world. I think Suzanne has been there. It's surrounded by these volcanoes, and you have all these villages, right, that live there. So we can organize this for
Thank you, everyone. This is really, truly an honor to be an associate of Lillian. Lillian will never toot her own horn, so let me just do that for a minute.
yes.
I personally have learned so much since I started accompanying Lillian on these trips to Guatemala about 12 years ago, plus all the students and others she has brought down there. My whole view of social justice in a worldwide scale has completely changed since I started taking these trips down here. And I credit that to Lillian. She knows the culture, as she has mentioned, and when you go and deal with countries like this, it is so important to understand their culture because they don't really accept you unless they feel that you buy into that. Respect. Dignity, respect. Yeah. So thank you.
We will bring to you this. We wanted to know how you are going to display, so we could prepare for you better. So if you could let us know about that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, Dave, I think I'll have a couple words to that. I taught with these people for many years at RCTC, and I was teaching with Lillian before this program started, and she would go up and down the halls trying to recruit people and tell about what she was doing. She was so enthusiastic. So they have really done a lot of wonderful things. Thank you.
Thank you both very much.
Thank you, everyone. As you're probably guessing, how are we going to get through the rest of the program? I'm looking at Celeste. So I will take the presidential prerogative and speed up the rest of the announcements so we can get on with the main speaker program. Paul Harris, a fellow +4 pin, is going to go to Chuck Steidinger, and I'll take that to him. So a little clock forward. There is a sheet of paper on your tables that you can share. It's a summary as best as I could do in an hour, which I had break from clinical time this morning to prepare a reflection on the types of things we did this year in our onboarding of Sherston, our amazing club administrator, to transitioning our finances to F&M Bank from US Bank, and all the other service learning and activities. You are truly a member-led organization, and it has been a privilege and honor to be your president. And just like Lillian and Judy and Dawn have reinforced, I don't feel I do too much when all you need to do is engage people, empower them, give them a few tools to make a difference, including money, and then tell the story. So with that, those are my reflection points, and then we'll celebrate birthdays. Judy, your birthday is up here, but you can sing to yourself. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear fellow Rotarians. Happy birthday to you. And then more. Then happy anniversary, everyone. That's listed. Dave, you're on there. A few other comments. We had rotation day, our second rotation day on May 30th. It was hosted by University of Minnesota Rochester, a wonderful exposition of what's possible in Rochester with with dreaming big and staying small and then growing fast. So there's over 1,000 students now, and they're planning to try to get up to 1,500. There's some pictures. Please visit the campus. They're really open to partnering and working with us. And remember, Lori's still on our club. And then White Oak Park cleanup coming up. Joseph's leading this charge in June 19th. And, it only takes about 45 minutes. Rochester Fest Service Club. So our June 27th, Thursday noon meeting will be, as Ali said, at Soldiers Field, not here at Even Hotel. Please bring any lithium batteries that you want to recycle or that are eligible for recycling to that event. We have a box up here too for today. If anybody has things, it's in the back there. And then our 3 club meeting is on August 7th, where we're going to host the new incoming District Governor Ed Beauvais at 5 p.m. And where is that date?
To be determined.
To be determined. So
we'll send
just save the date and we'll go from there.
And he's getting that.
The only point on here is remember the 100th anniversary is coming up, and you'll hear more in just a little bit. The fundraising goal for the Statues of Equality is going to be about $10,000.
No,
Oh.
Statues for Equality. This is the,
I'll take this one.
Okay, take that one, Dave.
this is about the benches.
Okay.
I don't think this is working. So just real quickly, the 100th anniversary group has been searching for a project for our 100th anniversary. And this is, for those of you who are familiar with it, the Silver Lake Pool area, but the city, just like they've recently done with Soldiers Field, is making sort of an added effort to improving the environment around the Silver Lake Pool. In this area, you'll see there's proposed 4, if not 5 benches. And our intent is to have the Rotary project be the donation of these benches. And our expectation is there will be signage indicating that this is a Rotary Club of Rochester 100th anniversary gift to the city. So we were, in essence, seeking endorsement of the club. If you have any questions, please let me know. Everybody in favor of this project as a 100th anniversary project?
So moved.
Good. All right. Thank you.
See how easy it is for Rotarians to make decisions. And 4 benches would be a good number because we have the 4-way test. You could add a 5th bench and make it fun. So on to the main program. Dave and I are honored to share this program. We decided not to just do it as a leadership transition. So I'm going to take about 5 minutes to just get through this, and Lori will be posting the larger version of the assembly report online for you to view and read in more detail. So the next slide. There is a gavel, and there's supposed to be a plaque with it, but here's the exchange as it formally goes.
So, as the retiring president of the Rochester Rotary Club, I'm giving this as a gift to Asha. He will have a plaque that will be attached to. But in addition to that, as you're all aware, I think this opening was open. Cheryl and I were just to Singapore, and I brought back a present for Ashok, uniquely Singapore. Wow. In addition, I brought him a pin from the International Conference from Singapore, and as my incoming chair, president-elect. I also got one for Steve.
Let's get a picture. Steve, come up here.
We're doing this quickly because we're running a little behind. In lieu of having the plaque for Ashok finishing his role, I got you a really nice little past president's pin. And then one other piece, as you know, for the 2023-2024 year, Ashok has been displaying the previous president's banner, and I would like to bring the new banner, The Magic of Rotary, from Stephanie. And we had a chance to see Stephanie at the International Convention. She is just a delight, and you will love having her as the future international president. So congratulations. Oh, yes.
See you stay up here. You look nice.
There.
Thank you.
You bet.
All right. So our club was founded in May 12th, 1925. So we are transitioning from the 99th into the 100th year. And with that, the next slide. I just want to reflect a little bit on the significance of number 99. In Edmonton, Alberta, when I was going through medical school, 1982-86, the Oilers were a dynasty. They had Wayne Gretzky, who was now the great one, and he really said the name of the profession and honoring the profession, that in order to score a goal, you not only needed to know where the puck was at and where your teammates are at, but where they will be. So as we look forward and anticipate what to do over the year ahead, I can't wait to see the magic happen of Rotary, and these stories, such as the one we just celebrated with Lillian and Don, happen more globally in a way that's very hope-inspiring for all the future generations. We also have a great capacity with our past leaders, all the past presidents, if you could stand up. Really, we couldn't have done what we did without all of you, so.
And this is past presidents of our club or other clubs, yes.
So remember, your children are watching. The other part about the Oilers, they're in the Stanley Cup Finals. They're losing 2-0 to the Panthers right now. But I do want to say that Edmonton has a legacy not only of great hockey players like Wayne Gretzky, but doctors. I won't say I'm great, but I'm getting there. And Mike Stewart, who's a Olympic hockey coach or position here at Mayo. His son, Mark Stewart, is now the assistant coach of the Oilers and on that bench. So if you do watch a hockey game, you can see that as you transition here between my image and Mark Stewart's to Dave's image, how the beard grows. So I was trying to get a picture that says this is also how evolution happens in a club. And the picture at the bottom there, which doesn't show up, is what Bill Victor gave me to start my year, which was a pair of running shoes to get running, that says hit the ground running, and then a hockey puck, which was from the 2010 Olympics, where were held in Vancouver, Canada. So I'm going to hold on to these, but everything else, Dave, is yours from the club. And then one last. As Dave said, we're moving from Imagine, which was the year before mine with Ali, to Creating Hope in the World and Making Peace Visible. That was our year with at the district level and international level, to the magic of Rotary. And so just remember, those are the big themes. We can feel the spirit of Rotary in all of us. And the next slide just reinforces our club's mission and vision, which is local impact with global results. And you saw examples of that. One more slide, or skip that one. That one. So thank you to all the board members for this year. If you could stand up for a second and take a round of applause. And Dave, you want to introduce your slate of officers for today? And then
so I'm going to have to look this way because I can't see that distance. But I will be the incoming president, the past president, Ashok Patel, Steve Sperling, you were introduced to earlier, president-elect nominee, Frank Allen, the club administrator, Kirsten Keeler, treasurer, also Frank Allen. The secretary is Joseph, membership, Audrey, communications, Lori, engagement and fundraising, Sue Lupke and Don Meyer, and community service, Mark Dockery. These are a couple of new members that have already stood up and have become part of our club in a big way. International services, Judy O'Fallon, and measurement, Stuart. Stuart happens to be in the UK this week, so he indicated that he was happy with the new board, but wasn't able to attend today. And then, as you can see, we have diversity, equity, and inclusion. Stuart and Ashok are going to work on that together. Josh Noser is the new incoming president of the Rotary Foundation. Sharon Berkey is our AG, assistant governor. Our district governor, Ed Bovee, and then the admin for the district is Kathy Hewitt. So welcome to the new board. For those board members who are here for the new board, could you please stand?
Go ahead.
Go right into the next slide.
Go right into your list program. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. So that's slide 2. Yeah. So as many of you know, this past March, I had the opportunity to participate in our district's LIFT program in Nicaragua. And after that trip, I was so enthusiastic about the program that I joined the LIFT advisory committee. So today, I'll show you the successes of the program along with the impact that's been done in the communities where we're working. I'll also cover where the program is going and how we'll continue to make it even greater in the future. So the next slide. So the key point is that LIFT is a district program, not a regular program from any club. Also, because it's a district program, 100% of its operating budget comes from pledges and donations from the clubs. The success of the program is wholly dependent on the level of support both from donations and member participation from district members. Next slide. The LIFT program, you heard some comments today about the Guatemala project, and you'll find how these two closely compare. LIFT is about combating extreme poverty. It's not about any particular need. It's not about water, healthcare, or education. It has a focus on poverty. And the key point in the mission statement is that the process is bookended by fostering, which is working closely with communities up front, and then sustainability, which is any improvements done in the community must be able to be sustained by the community itself. And we heard about an example in Guatemala about how that's done. Next slide. So this is a diagram that shows the basics of the term and the process flow of the LIFT program. The basic design is a 5-year program. And year 1 is closely working with the community. Here we listen to what the community says. What are their issues? What are their pains? What are their strengths? And what are their resources? We inquire and drill into them to understand better where the community can grow and what their capacity is for self-governance. Much of the time is spent on actual workshops and training for the community leaders to create leadership capacity. The work then translates into the next stage, facilitate, to put together a plan for improvement that prioritizes their unique needs and also to understand what they have the capacity to sustain. Then year 3 and 4, year 2 and 3 are for scoping out and creating the projects from this plan, from the community. So it's not, we have an idea and we want your community to do this to improve your lifestyle. It's what does the community say? What does the community need? And what can we do to support that? So the details of the priority projects are pulled together, grants are written, and projects are launched. Then as we go into year 3 and 4, we work on the completion of the project. Here's the transform stage, and it's focused on strong community engagement in the plans for the project, along with the long-term designs for the community to sustain the benefits of the project by themselves. Year 4 and 5 then is the completion of the transform process and continued monitoring of the community to assure that they continue to have the capabilities for sustainability. So as you can see, year 1 is the most critical phase. It's the foundation that's intended to assure that the community can grow, develop capacity, and sustain any of the improvements. Next slide. So when I was in Nicaragua, the first community that I visited was El Carrozo. And this project had both needs for the development of effective governance, as well as significant technical challenges. To date, the community has had excellent success with paying for the water resources that we brought to, I think it was roughly 110 homes. So we have a well that was dug and then piped to all of these homes, impacting a couple hundred people. It was a fabulous project. So to highlight the project's sustainability, the community had a pump that failed. And they pay for their water, each family contributes. And although the pump itself was under warranty, the community needed to hire a crane to pull the pump out and to put it back in. And the crane cost the community $1,000. But because they had this community resource where everybody was contributing, they were able to hire the crane themselves with no outside help. The community was able then to restore the water in just a couple of weeks because they had the capability and the sustainability. That's what the LIFT program's all about. Slide. This demonstrates the current challenges that are evident in the communities where we're working. These communities are generally economically very poor, but they're not resource poor. Generally, they have land, they have workers, they have a rainy season. These farmers are challenged by their history and are at risk due to the vulnerabilities and the variabilities in the growing season. Because of this lack of exceeding only what our community needs, they are not able to create economic growth and variables that can even create risk for their food scarcity. When production drops, and due to many other economic challenges, the people are locked into their culture of poverty. Ongoing lack of hope to improve then brings the decision to move to someplace outside, whether it's to the large cities whether it's moving down to Costa Rica or moving all the way to the United States. And you know, there's been a lot of pressure there. Next slide. So here are the details, of the 2 grants necessary for a seed bank. And the sponsor for the district and club grants have been signed up. The details of the grants are being finalized by the Planting Change Foundation to show the grant budget. And for the global grants, the Planting Change Foundation is also working out the details for the profit and loss statements, the cash flow to demonstrate the sustainability of this hub operation. Slide. That was this one. So one more slide. Okay. So my trip down to Nicaragua took place in March. And during this trip, we had the opportunity to stay at a beautiful colonial city called Grenada. We ate at great restaurants. We enjoyed the local Nicaraguan cuisine. We took a boat trip to a private island on Lake Nicaragua. We had, we learned the Sandinista history at Augusto Sandino, his childhood home. We experienced the tropical beauty with lakes and volcanoes, and we learned about organic and ancestral crops and seeds. So the next slide is just a high-level view, and I know you can't read it, of our agenda. It was a great trip. But more importantly, during the trip, next slide, we met with all of our LIFT program partners. We learned about the operations and challenges in Nicaragua. We visited El Corozo, as I indicated. We also visited 2 other groups that we're working with, Monteverde and San Juan de Mombacho. And then we learned about the plans for district and additional global grants. So the LIFT program is currently solely funded by club pledges and donations. The expectation is $15 per member. If you remember, there used to be a program called Fasting for Hope, and we would all contribute to that. This is the replacement for that program. We're also expanding our request for donations to individuals and corporations. We actually have a donate button on the website that's very easy to donate to. And we're also asking clubs to begin to work with corporate sponsors or donors with the expectation that each club would solicit a donation of $500 to $1,000 from a corporation to support the LIFT program. And then the last 2 slides. This is a QR code that can bring you to that site and the website for the program. And then the last one is just any questions. Now we have Dave Newman, who is joined us also. He is part of the board for the LIFT program. So if you have questions about the history or something like that, David can help support that conversation. So I think we're at 1 o'clock. So any questions? Okay, then let's limit it back.
Thank you, Dave, and welcome as our president. Just a few reminders with the donation. Also remember to pay your dues. And we have 10 more days to take that. Whatever we can get as membership renewals will help us with the numbers as we forward that by June 30th to International. The next meeting, June 27th, will be out at Soldiers Field. So hope you can make it out there. And we are adjourned. Thank you so much for this session, and create hope in the world as well as magic, he said.